Hello, consulting moguls. Welcome to Leadership Rewired. I am Dr. Vanessa R. Brooks, leadership scientist and CEO of Brooks Consulting and Training Solutions. And I'm so excited. Today is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. It is the last day of the year, and I needed to record this today to mark this momentous occasion. This word is going to be sealed in the calendar. Today, we're talking about why 2026 is your breakthrough year, not because of some New Year's Eve magic. And this really is not about manifestation, not at least in the sense of how you're used to hearing about manifestation. If we're going to talk about manifestation, I need you to understand something. Manifestation comes when you make a decision. Yes, manifestation comes when you make a decision. When you make a decision, that changes everything. I promise you. The only reason many of you are stuck in your consulting business is because you are not making the necessary decisions, the appropriate decisions, the necessary decisions that will move your business forward. But we're going to fix all of that on today. So if you are a professional, high achieving, high performing, educated woman, maybe you're already making six figures in your career, maybe you're already making six figures in your business, but you're looking to scale. Maybe you are looking to just close the racial gap that we experience as Black women. Maybe you are tired of being underpaid. Maybe you are burnt out. Maybe you are frustrated and exhausted. Maybe you give and pour and serve everybody, and you know you're not getting paid what you're worth. You are burnt out. This episode is for you. Let's dive in. We're going to start with the truth, all right? The truth about 2025, all right? Let's be real, okay? Now, for a lot of you, 2025 was a hard year. I'm going to be very transparent with you, okay? Because that's just what I do. I keep it real. I am not one of these leaders who pretend that my life is perfect. I am not one of these business owners who pretend that I'm never challenged in my business. And so we're going to talk about some of my personal challenges because I want you to know that you're not alone. I need you to understand I have been exactly where many of you are. And so maybe you stayed in a job in 2025 that drained you because you didn't know what else to do. Maybe you thought about starting a consulting business, but fear kept you stuck. Maybe you gave your expertise away for free again and again and again, while secretly resenting the very people that you were serving and helping. God, I've been there before. Maybe you were almost broke. Some of you were broken this past year. Maybe you're that woman who almost gave up on your career, your business. Maybe you even battled ideations with living. Maybe you wondered if you were even cut out for this altogether. Listen, I get it because I've been there. I want to tell you what happened to me a few years ago. My business was struggling financially. I was facing bankruptcy. I almost lost my home. I was broke and I was broken. I was burnt out and I was rebuilding from scratch. See, many of you know my story. For 14 years, I was a full-time pastor working as a volunteer pastor. I was bivocational, also building my business at that same time. In 2019, I felt led by God to close the church for many reasons, primarily to recover from burnout and compassion fatigue and exhaustion and vicarious trauma, physical symptoms of stress. I closed the church to save my life. But as a result, it caused a collapse in my business because most of my clients came from the church world. And when I closed my church, with that came a collapse in my revenue and my reputation. People just don't trust you quite the same when you do something like that. Um, this is a little bit emotional, y'all. My husband is the greatest. He was working full time and having to hold down our household while I tried to figure out what to do with my life. I tried to find work, couldn't find a job anywhere. I finished my graduate studies, got a master's and a doctorate degree, 12 years of business experience and expertise in leadership, decades of leadership expertise. Yet, a couple years ago, I was struggling and facing bankruptcy and loss of my home. Why? I'm going to tell you the real reason, not the excuses we try to tell ourselves when we're in trouble. It's because I lost focus. The stress got the best of me, and I lost myself in all of that. And I did not have a clear plan. I did not have focus, and I did not have consistency. I was winging it, hoping things would change, throwing the dice, selling a little bit of this, selling a little bit of that, praying for a breakthrough. But y'all, hope is not a strategy, and you cannot wing your way into wealth. That's what I learned during that time of my financial struggle and collapse, that you cannot wing your way to wealth. So here's what I did differently in the last 8 weeks of that year. I made a decision. I got serious. I built a plan and I executed that plan to a T. And I lied to you not, the last 2 months of that year, I signed $20,000 in clients. Not because I suddenly became smarter or more credentialed, but because I made a decision. I decided that I needed a plan, that I needed to be consistent, that I needed to focus, and that I needed to execute. And that is what 2026 is about for you too. So, why 2026 is different? Let's get into it. 2026 is your breakthrough year. And it's not because the calendar changed, but it's going to be because you are going to change. Because here's what I know about breakthrough: breakthroughs don't happen when you feel ready. Breakthroughs happen when you make a decision. Let me explain this through the lens of neuroplasticity, because this is leadership science, and I am the leadership scientist, and I am the brain coach. So we're not here for motivational fluff. Let me tell you the truth about your brain. Your brain is wired for survival. Your brain is wired to keep you safe. The truth of the matter is, your brain is not wired for success. Your brain is not wired for wealth. Your brain is wired to constantly scan your environment, both internally and externally, for danger, for threat. And if it senses that you might be in danger or threat, it is going to create some type of strategy as a way to keep you out of trouble, even if that strategy is causing self sabotage, which in most cases it does when it's fear related. Time you start thinking about your consulting business, launching it, scaling it, hiring a coach, creating content, going live, pricing your products, learning about executive leadership identity. Anytime you try to focus on your consulting business in any way, there's a part of your brain called the amygdala, which is the fear center in your brain. It sees all of that as threat and danger. And so, what it says to your nervous system is, what if we fail? To your mind, what if people judge you? What if this doesn't work? What if this is a waste of time? What if you waste money? What if nobody buys what it is you're trying to sell? What if you're not good enough? What if nobody watches your live stream? And so it keeps you in your comfort zone. Yes, many of you are in your comfort zone and you are comfortable in your comfort zone. Your amygdala convinces you to wait, and many of you are spiritualizing your waiting. You've convinced yourself you're waiting on God. You're waiting on confirmation. You're waiting on the time to be right. No, it is your brain keeping you in fight or flight. It is your brain that is stuck and paralyzed in fear. It is your brain that is stuck in decision paralysis. Your brain is telling you that you are not ready yet. And that is not true. That's just simply not the truth. That's your brain trying to protect you. And guess what? Every time you listen to that fear and don't take action, you strengthen the neural pathway that says staying stuck is safer than taking that leap. And so your brain has convinced you that you're good. Your brain has convinced you that the reason you haven't moved yet is because it's not the right timing. You don't have the money. God is not giving you permission yet. God hasn't released you yet. It's not the right time. All of that are fear based excuses to keep you stuck, to keep you in the safe zone, to keep you in your comfort zone. You see, as crazy as this sounds to me right now as the brain coach, because I've been delivered from my own brain, staying stuck feels safer than taking the chance. Staying stuck feels safer to you than investing in your business. But here is the good news: you can rewire that pathway. Your brain is neuroplastic. We serve a good God, y'all. God created your brain to be neuroplastic. It can change, it can be rewired. Those pathways that are right now wired for fear, those brain pathways right now that are wired for you being stuck, that are wired for delay, that are wired for hesitation, that are wired for decision fatigue, you can rewire all of those pathways. And this is how you do it: by making a different decision, by taking action before you feel ready, by building a new neural pathway that says, I am capable, I can do this, and I am doing this. You build the new pathway by not only making a different decision, but by executing on that different decision. 2026 is your breakthrough. It's your breakthrough year because you're going to decide, number one, I'm done undercharging. I'm not giving out no more free advice. I'm not going to underprice myself. I'm done waiting to feel ready. 2026 is going to be your breakthrough year because you're going to say to yourself, I'm done giving away my expertise for free and I'm done playing small. See, these are all the things that I had to say to myself in order to rebuild my business. Because when I lost everything, I thought the only way out for me was to just start underpricing myself, doing things for free, thinking maybe God will bless me if I give all this stuff away for free. Listen, that is self-sabotage. God does not need you to be a human sacrifice. Oh God, I said, God does not need you to be the human sacrifice. Jesus has already paid the price. Okay. I promise you that once you decide, once you make a decision and you execute, everything changes because confidence doesn't come before action. I'm going to say it again because some of y'all are struggling with confidence and you're waiting for confidence. Listen, do you know how to get confident? Confidence comes with action. Confidence comes with execution. Oh my God. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after action. I promise you, once you start doing it, you will get more confidence. You'll become more confident the more you execute action. You don't need to feel ready. There's been a lot of days I didn't feel ready. To be totally honest, I didn't feel ready today because I'm a little bit tired. And you can tell. But mind your business, okay? But I knew that I needed to get this message recorded, edited it, so I could put it out into the marketplace for you to get ready for your 2026 breakthrough. It's not about how you feel because as a CEO in your consulting firm, you're not going to always feel like it, but you have to be able and willing to make executive decisions despite how you feel. So you have to know how to launch, how to get feedback, how to make adjustments. You have to make these decisions, you have to execute, and then you feel ready. See, now that I'm actually filming, I feel ready to do this. I'm actually excited about doing it now. I had to sit down, get all the equipment together, and start filming, start talking, start sharing, start pouring into you. And it changed how I felt. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're going to have to make a decision. That's the key word for 2026. 2026 is the year of focused decisions. My God, today, I'm going to say it one more time. 2026 is the year of focused decisions. I promise you, when you make focused decisions, everything about your business is going to change. So 2026 is different because you're deciding that is different. You are standing in your power and you're making a decision that 2026 is different because I am going to show up in 2026 differently. Not hoping, not wishing, but deciding. So you've made the decision. Now what? What does it actually take to break through? Here's what it actually takes for you to have a breakthrough year in 2026. All right. Number one, write these down. Okay. Number one, you need a clear plan. You cannot wing your way to six figures. You cannot wing your way to wealth. You need a clear plan. What does that include? A lot of things. But some of those things that you're going to have in 2026 is a clear offer. What are you selling? Who are you selling it to? And how much are you selling it for? You also need a clear funnel. Okay. How do people find you and how do people buy from you? All right. The third thing that you need inside of this clear plan is a clear schedule. What are you doing each week to move forward? You need to have activity goals and you also need to have revenue goals. Okay. So a clear schedule. Those are the three main things that you need in your clear plan. This is so good. All right. What else does it take for you to have a breakthrough year in 2026? Number two, consistent execution. And let me go back to the plan real quick. Most people fail because they don't have a plan, y'all. Like you can't just be posting on social media and just hoping somebody buys something. That's not business. That is a hobby. You have to have an executive plan for your business and for your brand. Okay, that's so important. Number two, consistent execution. This might be my favorite one. Okay, this is where a lot of you all are gonna drop off after the first month of 2026. You might get your plan written out. Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain. A lot of you are going to have the vision, but you're not going to execute it. This is where a lot of you are going to fall off. But for the rest of you, for the rest of my consulting moguls, listen, I promise you, if you commit to consistency in 2026, you're going to end the year at least six figures in your business. Okay. Consistent execution is going to bring about a six-figure year for your consulting business. It's not about doing everything perfectly, but it is about doing the right things consistently. So for me, it looks like on Mondays is my batch content creation day. I'm going to create my content and batch it out for the week, get everything scheduled for the week. So Mondays, I'm devoting that to content creation day. That is what a consistent executed schedule looks like in my business, right? Hosting my webinars every Saturday, unless it's a holiday or I'm out of town or I'm sick. My plan is to host my weekend webinar every Saturday, okay? Where I'm going to teach implementation strategies for your consulting offer. That's called consistent execution. I'm going to be conducting sales calls every single week. Okay. I'm going to show up even when I don't feel like it. I'm going to be sending out emails. Okay. I'm going to be marketing. This is what consistent execution looks like. And so you need to also have a plan for consistent execution in your business because consistency builds momentum and momentum creates results and results creates confidence. Okay. Again, for all of y'all that are waiting on confidence, I promise you the reason that you don't have any confidence is because you don't have any consistency. Lack of consistency keeps confidence dead. Did you hear that? Lack of consistency keeps confidence dead. Consistency resurrects confidence because consistency builds momentum. Momentum creates those results. And the more you see results, the more confident you're going to become. All right. What's the third strategy that we need to have a breakthrough 2026? All right. The third thing that you must do is you must do the neuroplasticity work. If you want 2026 to be your year of breakthrough, you're going to have to do neuroplasticity work. This is the piece that your business coaches and your business gurus and your life coaches are not going to teach you. But I'm trained in neuro leadership. All right. What does that mean? I'm trained to teach you how to use your brain and the power of neuroplasticity, which is rewiring those neural pathways to create your business for you. Okay. Because you can have the best offer, the best product, the best funnel, the best plan, and still not execute because your brain is holding you back. So, for a lot of you, you're going to have trouble with consistent execution because you're not doing the neuroplasticity work. Okay. You have to rewire the fear of visibility. Some of y'all don't want to be seen, so you don't go live. You won't even record a video. Okay. That's why you're stuck. That's why you don't see no results. That's why your consulting offer doesn't sell. That's why you don't have no clients. That's why you're not making no money. Okay, because you have a fear of being visible. You're going to have to rewire that. If you're going to be the CEO of your business, you got to be visible front line and center. You have to also rewire the guilt around charging. Okay, no more $10 programs. The only thing that I offer for free is a lead magnet, something that is of high value that I know can bring about a transformation for my ideal client audience. That's it. And that's not free. I'm just choosing to offer it complimentary because I want to share my work with my potential clients, with my audience base. Other than that, I charge what my programs and services are worth because I have done so much work on myself. I know my worth. I know the transformation that my intellectual property can provide for my audience, for my clients. And I have no guilt around charging what my programs and services are worth. You are still charging $9.99 and thinking that you're going to become a millionaire. Not going to happen. You're going to have to rewire the guilt around charging and charge what you and your products and services are worth. You're also going to have to rewire the belief that you're not good enough because for some of you, that's what's holding you back. You're comparing yourself to other people. Listen, let me just tell you right now in 2026, stop comparing yourself to other leaders. Okay. God has made you who you are. You have your own DNA, you have your own identity, and you bring to the space where nobody else can bring to the space. And you're going to have to settle into who you are and stop comparing yourself. Because as long as you compare yourself, your brain is going to always convince you that you are not good enough. And you're going to waste time trying to improve in areas that don't need improving. And the areas that actually need improving are the areas that you're going to neglect because you're so busy trying to be like somebody else that you're comparing yourself to. Listen, get into the blue ocean because in the blue ocean, there is no comparison. Find your lane, okay? Create your authentic intellectual property and your authentic methodologies, and you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to anybody else, okay? You're going to have to also rewire the imposter syndrome because that keeps you playing small, okay? Thinking that you don't deserve it. Again, thinking that you're not who you say you are. All those tricks that your brain plays on you, all those limiting beliefs that keep you playing small, that keep you shrinking, all of that self-sabotaging behavior has to be rewired because if you don't rewire that, you're not going to experience the momentum that 2026 wants to bring to you. So again, you have to make a decision to do the neuroplasticity work. Okay? This is leadership science. And you are connected to me, a leadership scientist. I am not a business coach. I am not a life coach. No shade to any of those people. But what I bring is something completely different. I bring you the science of executive leadership. I bring you the science of trauma recovery and burnout recovery because these are the things that are also blocking you from your success and blocking you from your destiny and blocking you from launching and scaling your consulting company. You are connected to a leadership scientist who is going to use science to help you break through those barriers so that you can be that six-figure earner in your business. Okay. This is what I teach in my mentorship program, the next level mentorship program, and the Six Figure Consultant Academy. Because you cannot build a six-figure business with a scarcity mindset. You cannot build a six-figure business with scarcity brain pathways. You cannot. If your neural pathways are wired for scarcity and poverty and low self-worth, that is all you're going to ever be able to build in your business. All right. The fourth strategy that you must implement in order to experience a breakthrough year for 2026 is support and accountability. You do not have to do this alone unless you choose to. The women who break through fastest are the ones who invest in leadership development, in coaching, professional consulting, support systems. The women who experience breakthrough the fastest are the ones who join communities and surround themselves with people who are doing what they want to do. You see, isolation keeps you stuck, but community accelerates your success. So listen, if 2026 is going to be your breakthrough year, you need four things. And I've covered them today. You need a clear plan. You need consistent execution. You need neuroplasticity work and you need support and accountability. And if you don't have all of that yet, that's okay, because that's exactly what I'm here to help you build. So, as we close, I'm giving you four steps, okay? Four steps to help you, okay? Step one, this is what I need you to do right now. I need you to make a decision. I need you to make a decision. Say it out loud. 2026 is my breakthrough year. I'm building a consulting business. I'm getting paid what I'm worth. Yes, your brain needs to hear you say it. Your nervous system needs to hear you say it. Let's say it again. 2026 is my year. I'm building a consulting company. I'm getting paid what I'm worth. Okay? That's the first step. Step two, I need you to download my free blueprint. Listen, I created a 43-page guide called Your First 5K Consulting Offer Blueprint. It has the 5-step framework the pricing formula, the neuroplasticity strategies, the AI tools, everything that you need to create your first consulting offer. Okay? There's going to be a link somewhere around this video for you to click on that link, provide your name and email, and download it. It is free. Okay? Only if you are the woman that is ready for 2026 to be her year. Only if you are the woman who is tired of being tired. Only if you are the woman who is tired of being burnt out and underpaid. Okay? The same six figures that you make in your company, in your career, you want to make it in your company. I'm talking to you. The woman who wants to scale her consulting business to the next level, I'm talking to you. Maybe you're a corporate exec. Maybe you're an HR exec. Maybe you're in leadership. Maybe you are a human service professional. You are ready to take your lived experience, your expertise, your knowledge, your training, your education, all the things you've overcome. All of that is your intellectual property, by the way. You're ready to take that, turn that into a framework, create an offer, put it in the marketplace, and get your clients all 2026. I'm talking to you. Download the free guide. Okay? You can also go to my website, www.drvanessaRbrooks.com. The download is also there on the page there as well. If you can't find any of the link in this video, go to the website, www.drvanessaRbrooks.com, and go to the page labeled Consulting Blueprint and get it there. All right. Step 3, I need you to join me on January 10th, 2026, and every Saturday thereafter, unless there is a holiday or something else has come up. I'm going to be live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time throughout the year of 2026. I'm hosting a free live training from burnout to breakthrough, how to architect your first 5K consulting offer in 90 days. You don't want to miss it. It's 90 minutes, it's live, and it is free. I'll walk you through how to implement the blueprint step by step. Plus, I'll answer your specific questions. There's going to be a link again somewhere around this video in the comments section or the description box, wherever you see this video. There's a link. Register and save your spot. Okay. Step 4, take one action today, not tomorrow. Take one action today. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you have it all figured out. Do one thing today that moves you forward. Download the blueprint, register for the webinar, write down your consulting offer idea. Even if it's not perfect, just write it down. Tell someone, I'm starting a consulting business. Because again, action creates momentum, and momentum creates breakthrough. 2026 is your year, but only if you decide it is, and only if you execute. Let's do this together, consulting moguls. All right, y'all, that is it for today's episode of Leadership Rewired. If this resonated with you, share it with another professional woman who needs to hear it. And remember, download the free blueprint, register for the January 10th training, and follow me on social media. I'll see you next week for episode 2. Until then, consulting moguls, go make 2026 legendary. This is Dr. Vanessa R. Brooks. Grace and peace.